Greetings. So today we are going to discuss about AI in the educational sector. Before we start about it, let me give you my intro. My name is Akshay Ajith and I study in Indian school Darsait. So first we need to know what exactly is AI. Artificial intelligence, that is AI, is intelligence demonstrated by machines. Unlike the natural intelligence, artificial intelligence is often used to describe machines or computers that mimic the cognitive functions that humans associate with the human mind, such as learning and problem solving. AI in education generally focuses on identifying the strengths and weaknesses of a student. What they do basically is compare a student's average performance and find their positives and negatives and develop a personalized curriculum based on each student's specific needs. Now let's jump on to the examples to understand this better. The online platform that reached its peak during the pandemic situation was the Google Classroom due to its simple and awesome features. Now, why don't you just open the calculator app on your mobile phone? This is one of the best examples of AI as it comes under problem solving. Another app called Duolingo is one of the best language learning apps. There is a wide variety of languages to choose from, and I have tried it myself. Now, how about something a bit more realistic? Next on the list is Jill Watson. Developed at Georgia Tech in 2016, Jill was first deployed onto the online discussion forum of a graduate level computer science class in knowledge based artificial intelligence. Alongside a team of human teaching assistants, Jill answered student questions as they came in. At the end of a semester long debut, students were not able to distinguish which of the TAs was the AI. They continue to build more powerful versions of Jill Watson every semester. By now, Jill Watson has been running about 17 classes. Next, they want to take her outside Georgia Tech. The next software's name is known as Cram 101. Content Technologies has built this collection of smart content solution for high school and higher educational levels. Cram 101 leverages AI to offer and explain textbook information into a more digestible guide. This breakdown consists of summaries, true or untrue exercises, and multi-option quizzes. The next example is Third Space Learning. This online learning platform offers weekly one-on-one math classes to tons of learners. It shines at enhancing student engagement and finding the best ways of teaching. With AI, this solution can evaluate recorded sessions and reveal patterns in the educators' and learners' mannerisms. This intervention will provide one-to-one support for pupils during sessions lasting 1 hour. Class teachers identify areas of development for each pupil and select modules which help to address these needs. Online sessions are available throughout the school day, providing teachers the flexibility to engage with the intervention. Now, how about a bit more familiar example? A set of activities and conversations were taking place in the Fulton Academy of Science and Technology. There, Mark Girl had his Python coding class students talk about playing games against a computer and how AI isn't really intelligent so much as the series of decision trees at a low level. They also discussed how programs like Apple Siri, Amazon Alexa, and Google Assistant work as virtual assistants or chatbots using the same approach. When computer science teacher Sharon Harrison wanted to introduce her 8th graders to the basic idea of artificial intelligence, she had them try out an online chatbot called Akinator, which asked the user questions to determine what historic or fictional character he or she is thinking of. In some instances, the students marveled at how quickly the program could figure out the answer. Now, let us discuss about some advantages of AI. The first advantage is that teachers can monitor and analyze student progress in real time. It means the teachers do not need to wait until they compile annual report sheets. Also, AI gives teachers recommendations as to the areas that require repeat or further explanation. In this instance, AI Smart Analytics picks upon those topics that most of the students struggle with. Reduction in human error. One of the biggest advantages of AI is that it can significantly reduce errors and increase accuracy and precision. The decisions taken by AI in every step is decided by information previously gathered and a certain set of algorithms. When programmed properly, these errors can be reduced to null. Zero risks. Another big advantage of AI is that humans can overcome many risks by letting AI robots do them for us. Whether it be defusing a bomb, going to space, exploring the deepest parts of oceans, machines with meta bodies are resistant in nature and can survive unfriendly atmospheres. Moreover, they can provide accurate work with greater responsibility and not wear out easily. The next advantage is that AI saves time and improves efficiency because AI demonstrates human-like skills like learning, critical thinking, and problem solving. There's an apprehension about AI. Thus, the common notion is that AI will eventually take the place of teachers. This is not true. What AI does is handle the burden of repetitive tasks teachers and schools have to deal with daily. There are also custom writing services like online writers rating that help hand any repetitive writing task. It helps save up more time so teachers can focus on teaching the students and other essential duties. For example, when using a grammar tool, the teacher doesn't have to repeatedly correct students' grammar. The students can use the AI powered tools to learn proper pronunciations, meanings, and proper usage. AI education is also beneficial to international students that are still struggling to learn a new language. Furthermore, routine tasks such as attendance can be handled by AI. Thus, AI standard K-12 program platforms like Robot Lab provide efficiency and effectiveness in input, outcome, and workflow. The next advantage is that students get more personalized learning experience. AI in education enables schools to carve out personalized learning experiences for their students. From student data, AI can analyze the students' learning speed and needs. With the results, schools can personalize course outlines that enhance learning based on students' strengths and weaknesses. Carving out personalized coursework that addresses each student's needs is hard, something even the best tutors find challenging. AI based technologies make it easier for schools to make better informed decisions. For instance, they can include topics that appropriately suit learning requirements. Convenient and improved student teacher interactions. Some students may not be bold enough to ask questions in class, so with AI communication tools, they can feel comfortable asking questions without the crowd. Teachers can give detailed feedback to the students. Sometimes there isn't enough time during the classes to respond to questions in detail. The last advantage that we are going to discuss today is that if we use AI in schools, it is better for students with special needs. AI is playing a crucial role in improving the lives of the disabled. Along the lines of personalized learning, AI excels in offering better resources to the disabled. Speech recognition software such as Nuance can help transcribe words for students with writing difficulties or limited mobility. These solutions can help teachers offer better study materials for students that attend to their unique demands. Now let us discuss about some disadvantages. No creativity. A big disadvantage of AI is that it cannot learn to think outside the box. AI is capable of learning over time with pre-fed data and past experiences, but cannot be creative in its approach. A classic example is a bot Quill, who can write Forbes earning reports. These reports only contain data and facts already provided to the bot. Although it is impressive that a bot can write an article on its own, it lacks the human touch present in other Forbes articles. It makes us lazy. AI applications automate the majority of tedious and repetitive tasks. Since we do not have to memorize things or solve puzzles to get the job done, we tend to use our brains less and less. This addiction to AI can cause problems to future generations. Lack of human connection. If and when we completely turn to AI for the educational experience, these programs can substitute us in many ways. A big part of school is between the relationship between teachers and students. Instead of making teaching more efficient, we might end up entirely addicted and dependent to technology. The next disadvantage is the cost of AI technology. AI education comes at a high price. As new technology emerges, budgets will have to increase to cover the expenses. Besides the installation of AI software, schools will also need to consider the cost of maintenance of the software. Thus, schools with little funding may find it challenging to implement AI augmented learning. Vulnerable to cyber attacks. Considering that it contains a ton of data, hackers are constantly devising ways to attack. It could be very damaging to the victims of such cyber attacks having their personal information in the open. All a school can do is install data security protection software. Yet, even with that, sometimes hackers can still get into the school system. The next disadvantage is of unemployment. While the software industry might be booming, AI might soon replace many school staff. From managing the administration to teaching, AI has a solution for everything. With online learning, there is no limit to the class sizes, and AI might be the last straw that leads to sizable unemployment in the educational sector. Next, disadvantages of ethics. Ethics and morality are important human features that can be difficult to incorporate into an AI. The rapid progress of AI has raised a number of concerns that one day AI will grow uncontrollably and eventually wipe out humanity. This moment is referred to as the AI singularity. The last disadvantage of using AI in schools is of information in wrong hands. There is no way other than to digitize information these days. If it falls into the wrong hands, schools always run the risk of misuse of personal information, and AI can nudge us in the right direction. At the same time, it is paramount that we draw lines on how much control we give over to machines and their intelligence. Now let's discuss how artificial intelligence could actually benefit the future of education. Artificial intelligence in education has brought about several beneficial changes, from classroom interactions, coursework learning, and admin processes. AI makes it all better, and the advantages keep improving and increasing as new AI technologies emerge. On the flip side, AI education is not without its challenges. Educators are in the fear of instituting robotic systematic changes that are vulnerable to attacks. They also have to take into consideration cost implications and a lack of AI flexibility in problem solving. These fears that arise from the AI challenges may sometimes be well grounded. Yet teachers and schools cannot afford to ignore AI's significance in enhancing learning and process efficiency. So with by saying this much, I conclude my speech. Thank you and have a nice day.